Hey, welcome to Mini Beginner's Crash Course. My name is Lisa Jung, and I'm a developer advocate at Elastic. This course is designed for developers who want to get started with Elasticsearch and Kibana. In Season 2, we're building a full-stack JavaScript app that can search for data stored in Elasticsearch. In previous episodes, we have built a server using Node.js with Express. We also created an Elastic Cloud deployment. In this episode, we'll be connecting our server to Elasticsearch hosted on Elastic Cloud. Let's talk about the relevant resources for this episode. All the links to these resources are included in the description box. Now, throughout the episode, I'll be going over terminal commands and code. If you want to copy and paste these, check out blog part 4 as these are included there. Next, we have a GitHub repo for episode 4. Note that there are 2 branches of code associated with this episode. These are branches 2 and 3. Now, there are 2 ways to connect our server to Elastic Cloud. One way is through basic authentication, and the other way is by using the API key. Connecting via API key is the best practice for production. It gives the users flexibility in creating different API keys for different systems or applications. In order to generate an API key, we need to log into Elastic Cloud as a user first. This is known as basic authentication, and we'll go over this in a minute. Now, the code for connecting to Elastic Cloud using basic authentication is included in the blog part 4 or branch 2 of the GitHub repo. In episode 2, we create a project directory called the Earthquake app, and we built a Node.js server within it. I pulled up the project using my code editor. Next, we'll create a file where we'll store Elastic Cloud access credentials. To do so, we're going to set up the config directory. Now, the term config should sound familiar as we installed this dependency in episode 2. With config, you could store node configuration in an external configuration file. For our project, we'll use config to store access credentials such as Elastic Cloud ID, username, password, and API key. Using your code editor, create a config directory within the Earthquake app directory. Then create a default.json file within it. Next, you're going to paste the following code here, and the code is found in blog part 4, step 3. This is where we're going to store Elastic Cloud access credentials. We'll add our deployment information as well as the password here. In episode 3, we have downloaded and saved these credentials. So pull up the credentials, then copy the password here, and paste it into line 5 of default.json file. Next, let's find our Elastic Cloud deployment information. In episode 3, we learned how to get to the Kibana homepage. From this page, click on the menu icon, then click on the Manage this deployment option. Now, this is where you'll find the deployment name as well as the cloud ID. So click on the copy button here and paste it into line 3 of default.json file. Okay, so we just added the credentials necessary to connect to Elastic Cloud via basic authentication. Next, we'll set up our server to communicate with Elastic Cloud so we can securely connect to it. The simplest way to do this is with Elasticsearch Client. This allows your app to communicate with your Elasticsearch cluster in a programming language of your choice. You could easily access every endpoint of Elasticsearch API to perform a variety of tasks. And since we're working with a Node.js server, we'll be using the Elasticsearch JavaScript client to connect to our Elasticsearch cluster. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We'll first create a new instance of Elasticsearch Client. This client will contain our Elastic Cloud access credentials that point to our Elasticsearch cluster. Then we'll set up our server to connect to Elastic Cloud and display a message in the terminal of its connection status. To do so, locate your server directory. Within it, create a Elasticsearch directory. Within it, create a file called client.js. Now, within this file, paste this code here, and the code can be found in blog part 4, step 4. Okay, so let's go over the code. In episode 2, we installed Elasticsearch client for Node.js. In line 1, we require that here and set this equal to a constant called client. In line 2, we create a constant called config and require the config dependency. You'll see this come into play in line 4 when you use config to get access credentials stored in the config directory. Earlier, we stored the access credentials under Elastic in default.json. In client.js, we use config to get credentials stored under Elastic and set it equal to a constant called elastic config. This allows us to securely store and access sensitive data and not store these in the source code. In lines 6 through 14, we create a new instance of Elasticsearch client with our access credentials that points to our Elasticsearch cluster. We set this equal to a constant called client. In lines 16 through 18, we use the ping method on our Elasticsearch client. This allows us to check if Elasticsearch cluster is up and available to process requests. We have set it up so that if we receive a response, meaning that we're connected to Elasticsearch, our terminal will display the message, "You're connected to Elasticsearch." If an error occurs during this process, our terminal should display the message, "Elasticsearch is not connected." In line 20, we expose our Elasticsearch client via Node.js module exports, as this will be used in server.js. Let's go to the server.js file. In line 2, paste the following code here. We require client.js here because this is where we created an instance of Elasticsearch client. We do this so we could access our Elasticsearch client from server.js. Let's test if we're able to connect to Elastic Cloud via basic authentication. So pull up your terminal, cd into the Earthquake app directory, then execute npm start to start your server. All right, so you'll see that the server is listening at 3001 and that you're connected to Elasticsearch. Now that we have logged into Elastic Cloud as a user, we could generate an API key. Afterwards, we'll set up our server to connect to Elastic Cloud using this key. The code I'll be showing you will be included in blog part 4 step 5 or branch 3 of the GitHub repo. Within the server directory, create a file called create_API_key.js. In this file, you'll paste the following code. In line 1, we require the instance of Elasticsearch client we created in the previous step. We use lines 3 to 21 to define the generate API keys function. And this function creates an API key that gives access to our Elastic Cloud deployment. In line 4, we define a constant called body and set it equal to client.security.createAPI_key method. Within this method, we define what Elasticsearch cluster privileges are associated with this API key. In line 6, we specify the name of the server that'll be using this API key. In line 7, under role descriptors, we define a role, also known as access privileges granted to the server. In line 8, we name this role as Earthquake's example writer, but you could name this role any way you see fit. In line 9, we specify that this API key comes with cluster monitor privilege, which gives read-only access for determining cluster state. In lines 12 through 13, this key also grants additional privileges such as create index, write, read, and manage operations for an index named Earthquakes. In line 20, we define that our function returns an ID and an API key value, which are concatenated and encoded in base64. In lines 23 to 28, we call the generate API keys function here, which prints the API key in the terminal. If an error occurs during this process, it prints the error instead. All right, so let's generate an API key by running the createAPI_key.js file. So in the terminal, open a separate tab, cd into the Earthquake app, and execute the following command. You'll see that you're connected to Elasticsearch and it'll print the API key that has been generated for you. Next, we'll connect our server to Elastic Cloud using our API key. So copy the API key here, then go to default.json file, add a comma at the end of line 5, and then add your API key in the manner shown here. Now, open the client.js file and replace the username and password with the following. From this point on, the server will be using the API key to connect to Elastic Cloud. Okay, so let's see if this worked. Go back to your terminal. Go to the tab that is running your server. You'll see that the server is still connected to Elasticsearch, except that this time we're connected to it using the API key. In this episode, we connected our server to Elasticsearch hosted on Elastic Cloud. Down the road, we'll be ingesting earthquake data into Elasticsearch. Before we can do that, we need to plan for efficient data storage and search performance in Elasticsearch. And that is exactly what we'll do next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.